The plane, boss. The plane.
Welcome back to Twin Tarot.
I'm Tattoo,
And I'm Mr. Rourke.
and today we're going to talk about the plane. The plane.
Yes.
Smiles,
Oh.
everybody, smiles.
Well,
It's too bad he didn't have Isaac on. No, it's too bad Isaac wasn't also on Fantasy Island.
he should
That
have been.
it would have been a perfect segue. Isaac drinks for our guests.
Yes. Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Why is it that we do Ricardo Montalban? It turns into Bela Lugosi.
Who knows? Maybe they're related.
Man, I don't think so. Anyway,
So, did you hear that there's a little more to the story about Trump 747?
yeah, I posted something up on the Tarot by the Bay community page after Belle of the Ranch came up, and I happened to catch within the first minute. It's funny because she'll have 57 views and 100 likes within a minute. It's like, how is that possible? Apparently there's a little more to the story that this is more Trump wanted his Air Force One upgraded more quickly than what Boeing was going to turn around the two jets that they had on order. So he ordered the Pentagon, or he ordered Witkoff to go look for a plane for him. And this happened to be one of the planes on the list of things that he found. So he told the Pentagon to go get him that plane. So the Pentagon reached out to the government of Qatar to negotiate whether they were going to purchase or release. And Bell wasn't sure, said there was conflicting reporting whether it's a purchase or release of this aircraft. Now, all that is on the up and up. That's normal practice.
Right.
What is weird is that Trump then says that they're giving him the plane for free. That's it was completely not necessary, caused all sorts of controversy, which maybe is what he wanted, but it wasn't true, and it was unnecessary. And I got a cat who's bored.
Yeah.
Any commentary you want to throw in on that?
Yeah, it's just, Trump has been beating this drum about how he's going to get this for free, that the Qatar government was going to just gift him this $400 million airplane. And, if someone gives you a gift like that, I'd be a fool for not accepting it. Someone gives you a gift like that, you say thank you and you take it.
Right.
And you move on. And it's just set off a whole chain reaction of backlash. You got the whole emoluments clause. You've got people on both sides of the political spectrum saying, oh, no, bad idea, bad. And Trump is not backing down from it.
And now a couple of things come to mind. First off, probably for a number of people in Congress, especially on the Democrat side, they're not going to know anything about this. They're going to get this. They're going to hear the news just like we do. Now, Mike Johnson was being non-committal. He was like, well, I don't know anything about that. I've been too busy trying to get this draconian budget through the process. I would think that the Speaker of the House, who Congress has to approve any gifts, he was well aware of what was going on. And I'm sure he was well aware that this was going through the military in the Pentagon and not through Trump, and that what Trump was saying was not true. But there's two things going on. One, he wasn't going to contradict what Trump was saying. And two, it's why not? Why wouldn't he just smooth things out? Why would he not are you afraid of being tweet, or is Trump distracting from something? And now we're all talking about this stupid freaking plane rather than him totally capitulating to China in these tariff negotiations, or this god-awful budget process that they're going through right now.
That's what I was thinking, was the budget process. A great way to shed a little bit of attention away from it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of wonder about the government in Qatar, how they're feeling about it, because they don't want to contradict Trump. They're trying to find that
the other thing
line.
Bill had said was that the prime minister or whoever the minister was that was discussing it tiptoed around the edges of this thing, saying it's just a normal business transaction between the government and the U.S. military, and that's true. But he didn't flat out say this crazy person's lying through his teeth. Nobody ever said we were giving this thing for free. I don't know where the hell he got that, making shit up again.
Yeah,
Could have said it that way too.
The other thing is I guess two other things. One, to kit this thing out to be, a spec Air Force One type aircraft. I don't know what the specs are, but my understanding is it's not just putting radio communication and maybe a couple of flares in it. This is like a structurally reinforced aircraft. And basically, they're going to have to deconstruct this whole aircraft to, reinforce it. Think of it like the Beast, the vehicle that the president gets transported around, right?
It's not an off-the-shelf GMC.
Yeah, you're not going to go to your local Chevy or GMC dealership, buy a rig, and then go have it done. You want
paint it black, tint the windows black, and put some antenna on it, and you got yourself
some 24s on it, and then you go pimping down the highway. This thing needs to be purpose built, and it makes a lot more sense if you're doing it on the assembly line than taking the finished product, deconstructing it, and then reconstructing it to match the specs that you need. And this is a used aircraft, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that may have been custom ordered for this government that our government doesn't want or need on the airplane, and that has to be removed. And so it makes no sense. And then Boeing lowered they revised their estimate, and the estimate now is in 2027 the two Air Force One planes will be out of production. They'll be completed, so they'll be at the tail end of Trump's term, which is like 2 years. They advanced the deadline by 2 years. So it's interesting to see how everything's played out. I'm curious to see if the combination of Boeing's advancing the deadline is going to change Trump's tune on this Qatar 747. Or if Trump's going to just try and push it through, because as we were talking in our previous recorded video, which will come out after this, that Trump can't be wrong ever.
Yeah, it's like his dementia has reached a point that every hill is the hill to die on. You can't be proven wrong on anything, and every hill is the hill to die on.
Yep.
You can't just quietly leave and throw ketchup bottles against the wall later on. You have to challenge all comers to challenging your authority. You have to fight everything.
So I want to do a quick reading, or I'll just do a reading. Is Trump going to actually take receipt of this, or will Congress basically
will fall through?
Yeah, will it fall through, or is he actually going to get this aircraft for entertainment purposes only? Okay. Foundation is the king of wands. We got to take bold action because I want my toy. The challenge is the Ace of Cups. A bunch of people being upset. And
hey, can I pause you on that for a second?
Yeah.
There's one other thing that doesn't make any sense here with this. It's because you got the King of Wands, and that's my Attorney General card. Pam Bondi said she and her lawyer said this thing's perfectly fine.
Well,
it's a gift. So did she not know? Why? This whole thing makes no sense whatsoever. Where'd you go?
Oh,
we got Gary back. He's now fixed the deck.
Yes,
remarkably well.
As you can see, I fixed it to put the strength card underneath it. So he wants his toy. He wants it now. The problem is that it's creating all sorts of emotional backlash on both sides of the aisle. Underneath it, this is what Dave and I were just talking about. Trump has to be right all the time. He's got to show everyone who's boss and who's in charge and how everyone loves him and they'll just give him whatever he wants. This was a gift. This wasn't a purchase by the Pentagon. In the past, you got the Seven of Cups, the crazy notion. If he just would have kept his big flapping mouth shut, he probably would have gotten his little 747, and it just, if you pardon the expression, it would have flown under the radar, right? But no, he needed to show it out there for all of us to see, and now it's become this big news cycle item. The current energy is the 8 of Wands. It's just all this information is flying around.
So the plane's apparently not flying around, though.
Yes, the plane apparently was in Florida for a while, but just a whole bunch of actions being taken, a bunch of information out there. The overarching energy is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is like the master of emotion. In this case, I'm going to reverse it and say this is just a case of Trump having a temper tantrum.
Temper tantrums. Yep.
Because he wants his toy and people don't want him to have it.
Right.
The lesson to be learned is the Two of Cups. It's if you want to have a relationship with the Qatari government or whatnot, that's fine. But you don't force someone to give you a gift. That feels like and with in the Hobbit where Gollum discovers the ring, or Smeagol discovers the ring, and is it Fleagle? Was that his brother?
The guy he kills his
It's like, just gives it to me. It's like, I don't think so.
I think it was Deagle or something like that.
It rhymed with Schmeagol. Anyways, but it's relationships are give and take and understandings and communications. It's not forcing someone to do something for you because you're the almighty Trump. The outcome is that's an interesting card. 6 of Cups. So it's just give me my toy.
Exactly what that was. Between the 2 of Cups, it's like that sounds like just give him his toy to placate him, and then give him his toy.
Right.
Just give him his toy.
I want it now.
Literally having a tantrum. Matter of fact, the picture I put up for the video that will go up on Thursday morning is a cartoon of a little boy having a tantrum in the grocery store floor by the dairy section, and it's an adult, his mother standing next to him, and it's Trump in the USA or something like that.
Oh my goodness!
It's where we're at.
He just wants his toy. He doesn't.
Now, I want to find out, why didn't Mike Johnson say anything? Why isn't Pam Bondi saying anything? Why Pam Bondi, I think, is the 2 of Cups. They gave him what he wanted. Just give him what he wants. He'll be fine. Why didn't Mike Johnson say anything? Let's screw Pam Bondi. She's corrupt as all get out. But why didn't Mike Johnson say anything about this?
There it is.
Part of it's give him what he wants. And if we make that the Pam Bondi card, because he didn't want to contradict Pam Bondi either. He's kind of put in a bad position because even she was backing it up. But he's got other things that he needs to take care of. I guess in some ways he was right. This is out of his lane because it's a Pentagon purchase, and I don't think Congress has to okay that. They only have to okay gifts, and this is not a gift. But why?
Once they appropriate the money, the Pentagon can spend it.
Right. I just don't understand why he didn't tell us. He doesn't want to piss off Trump. He doesn't want to hurt Pam Bondi or bring things into that. And he's got his own agenda getting on. In the past temperance, I think he's learned not to cross Trump. You roll with the punches. Current situation is Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, he when he said he was focused on the budget, I don't think he was lying. He was focused on the budget on this. And we got the Wheel of Fortune, which is the transition going to completion, bringing that budget to completion. And the lesson to be learned is that, yeah, he walks away from the drama. Nothing he can do to fix it, so he just ignores it. Yeah, he's worried about screwing over. He's too worried about screwing over poor people and giving tax breaks to wealthy people to be concerned about Trump's drama and tantrums over getting an airplane.
So
and that Queen of Wands could just be, I'm not his mother. You know, that's not my job description.
Yeah, he's got so many irons in the fire trying to get the
trying to run the country into the ground.
Hawks, to buy in on this budget.
They didn't. They just voted present.
Yeah,
they didn't. They didn't even vote on it. They just voted present, so we had enough votes to get that thing through.
Yeah. So what's going to happen with the budget? It's going to go to the full House for a vote. They need a simple majority to advance it to the Senate. And because the Republicans control both the House and the Senate, and like I was telling David, I don't know if they need to control the executive office too, but they have the tools to do this as a budget procedural vote, I believe is what the title is. It's basically they only need a simple majority in the Senate. And they don't even need a simple majority. They just need 50-50 plus J.D. Vance.
Right.
And
so they can lose Murkowski and Susan Collins and still have 51-49. They could lose a third one.
Yes. So it's basically, normally they'd have to have 60 senators to approve the budget. But because of the situation we're in and the Republicans having both the House and the Senate, they can just do it with 51 votes. And so that's how we're going to have this thing shoved up our backsides. So the question I want to ask is Trump actually going to get this thing for free, and so Congress needs to approve it, or is it going to be leased and or paid for by the Pentagon, and therefore Congress doesn't need to be involved? How is this going to move forward? Because if Congress needs to approve it, if it's actually free, Congress can derail this. So whose ball is this? Whose court is this ball going to land in? Okay, so we got the Knight of Wands, actions being taken. The challenge is premature celebrations because it's free. Underneath is the energy of the devil. It's because Trump said it's free, and therefore we got to make it free. I think this is going to Congress, folks. In the past, you got the Knight of Pentacles, just sitting back, holding on to the money, seeing how this is going to go. Current energy is King of Pentacles because Trump wants his toy and he doesn't care how much it costs because I want my toy and I want it now. Overarching energy is the Judgment. It's the truth is coming out about this, and people need to stand up and let their put their positions out there on where they stand with this. The lesson to be learned is the world is a cycle that's coming to an end. This will be going away soon. Outcome is the Two of Wands. We've got options. So it's really not answering the question for me because there's still options. We're not at the end yet. But since Trump wants it, I have a hunch that Trump is not going to want to change his narrative. And therefore, he's going to force this thing into the House, and have
as if he cares the House. Not like he cares if the House says no. He's going to take it anyway. Yeah. It's probably going to be who knows? I mean, you have to pay for it, so it has to come out of somebody's budget, unless they're not paying for it at all, which is what a gift would normally be. But I think the government of Qatar would want to know if they're getting $400 million or not for this thing.
They'll get it one way or the other, I suppose.
Right. Anyways, okay. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Yeah, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. Hit the bell because we'll wake you up at midnight with a new reading.
Yep. And give Gary comments. He reads them all, responds to many, and blocks everybody else.
Yes, if you're gonna tell me how I need to read vibrations and manifestations, I'm probably gonna block you.
Yeah.
If you start quoting Fox News talking pieces and treat them as fact, you're probably gonna get blocked. If you're trying to tell me how you can make these great investments and how with $2,000 you can make $180,000 and retire in 2 weeks, I'll probably block you.
But unlike those other twin channels that do try and sell you all that stuff, we give you something better.
Yes.
Total consciousness.
We don't throw ketchup on the wall either.
No.
Oh, so I've actually exhausted my list. So let's give a couple of shout outs to folks that are just sort of in the comments recently. Okay, so we've got B. Brennan.
You got the card before your name.
Yes. B. Brennan's a high commenter, over 100 comments. Thank you, B. We appreciate that. And then we've got PC Ranger Gold.
It's hard to stay on the top.
And PC's left 4 comments. So, hey, welcome to the channel, PC. And I think what would be really cool is if we've got some folks that are normal. Oh, hey, here's a good one. Sue Fleming. Hi, Sue. Cups of coffee to Sue in Great Britain there. Yes.
Multiple cups.
Yes. Maybe if it's later for Sue, instead of coffee, we'll have a mixed drink there.
All right. What secret card do you have for the audience here?
Yes. Oh, it's so secret. I can't possibly show you.
Oh, it must be really good.
There it is. See if
wow, that's amazing.
Page of Swords.
That's a really thick Page of Swords there.
It is. Hey, Page of Swords is all about fighting the good fight. You know, that youthful energy, taking on all comers, as it were.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching this video and supporting our channel. We'll catch you on the next video.
Take care, folks. Bye.